I had a quite extreme image of these mines before starting working in this field. So I imagined a very exploitative situation where, of course, miners worked in very difficult and hard conditions, and they were being exploited. Their labor force was being extremely exploited for very little profit. And what probably surprised me most is that while talking to the miners themselves, I noticed they were actually choosing that kind of work. They were actually programming their career. They were freely moving from one mine to the other and choosing the places according to their expertise. And they tried to follow the gold where they could find it.
Just describe what's happening in these pictures.
This picture is taken from Guinea, and it is a man using a metal detector to detect the presence of gold or other minerals in the ground. This woman is washing the powder and trying to facilitate the concentration of gold powder by using circular movements and water. This is really the basic technique for washing gold. The pits are usually this form of small holes in the ground that can reach a significant depth, like for example between 30 or 50 meters of depth. So this guy is a specialist in posing the wood and building the wooden structure that will help the pit to stay safe. This man is using a balance to evaluate the weight of the gold. He is a seller. This is a picture from Guinea again. So this is like the last step of the chain in a artisanal mine. This man has usually received credits from some bigger trader, and he buys the gold that the individual miners bring to him, and he will resell the gold to these bigger traders. But from that point on, it is very difficult to trace the value chain, because of course it goes a bit in all directions, and it becomes more informal than before.
What is good to know about gold production in Africa?
Well, gold production in Africa is very diversified, and of course most of it in quantitative terms is now coming from large-scale and industrial companies that are taking over the production of gold. But at the same time, gold has a very long-term history in Africa, and for most part of history it was extracted in the way we saw in the photos, and still the artisanal sector is giving providing livelihood and giving work to the majority of people involved in gold extraction. So I guess that for a European consumer it is very difficult to understand where the gold that you are wearing or using comes from. And there are many initiatives now at work to promote transparency in the value chains and to promote social projects or more ethical standards for gold production. I think every case has to be evaluated in its specificity, but there are more and more ways to know about the working conditions of the miners, and I guess this concerns all of us as consumers. Miners are quite proud of their work. They want to show it. Sometimes they like to be taken in picture or just simply have a chat between their work shifts and to tell you their story. And because I guess they also perceive that their work is often being misrepresented or assumed to be anarchic and dangerous without any positive aspects in it. So I guess that when they have the opportunity to talk about themselves in a more neutral way or a broader way that includes their aspirations, the way in which they represent their careers, their hopes and their investments, I think some of them appreciate it, and that's what I witnessed so far.